Hey, cross country supporters, Coach Little here. Uh, if you watched the last video, I didn't know if we would do another one, but how can you not do a recap after the exciting day that we had on Saturday at the state cross country championship there in Paris? Talk about the conditions a little bit first. If you weren't there, maybe you noticed by the pictures, muddy. I mean, that's the only word that really describes it. Paris had probably pretty consistent rain for the 48 hours leading up to the race, and specifically in probably the 12 to 15 hours leading up to the race. And they raced there on Friday night with the 2A, so it was already a little bit muddy, and the course already been worked on a little bit, trampled on from those two races with the boys and the girls on Friday. So it was challenging conditions. It was challenging just to get around as a fan, even in those areas. Just Mother Nature made that difficult. But we went out and, we had some good performances, starting with Braley. Braley ran 22:32 and placed 35th. Got 35th out of 229 runners. That's pretty good. She placed 30th last year, so not too far off that mark. This year, obviously, the conditions were much worse. You had to be probably more mentally tough to run in the conditions on Saturday. And 35th that's the top 15% of the kids that ran there. So basically, pretty much you can say top 15% in Class A in the state for the most part. So a good performance thought by Braley on Saturday. She had started the first mile around 50th. The second mile, she was still there around 50th, and really used the energy she saved up to work her way up, probably while other people were starting to slow down in mile 3. She used more of that conservative start approach and, was able to pass some people there in the third mile to finish up 35th. Of course, next came the boys' race. Going into the race, we were ranked 4th. I know if you were there, they said we were ranked 5th. There was actually, not that it matters, there was a little error on mile split that I had caught that kind of put another team in front of us. But nevertheless, we knew that we were ranked 4th, but we also knew that it would be challenging because the team that was right behind us, ranked 5th, they beat us head to head 2 weeks ago, meet of champions. All right, we were ranked ahead of them. And, these rankings just go by season best time. So it assumes everyone from Augusta runs their season best. Everyone from all the other schools runs their season best. And that's how that's how these rankings were. And of course, everyone's not always going to run their season best. That's not going to necessarily play out that way. But, a lot of times those will hold fairly true to form. So we knew that on paper we were better than Highlands Latin. But we also were very aware that, as I said, they beat us 2 weeks ago. So, I knew it would be a challenge. And Cam and I told the team it would be a challenge, not just from Highlands Latin, but we were probably the team with the targets on our back. I don't want to say the most, but I think people knew that there was a pretty big difference from 1 and 2 and the rest of the field, and probably even maybe you could say 1, 2, and 3. That St. Henry, Ville Madonna, and Bishop Brossart were, sort of a little bit ahead of the next group of teams. And I think a lot of teams knew that we were the first in that next group. 4th place at state, that's the last trophy spot. So, that's a pretty big deal. I think a lot of teams were shooting for that 4th place spot. I remember the Meet of Champions, Beechwood was a team that clearly was after us that day. Other teams know where things stack up. So, we went in with challenging conditions, with expectations of our own. And like I said, kind of with expectations, or not expectations, kind of with targets on our back, I felt like. So we get through the race. You feel pretty good at the end of the race. Our top 5 runners, which are in cross country, the top 5, that's your top 5 scores, we're at 47th and better. So we had our top 5 in the first 47. That made us feel pretty good, but it's always hard in a big meet like that to figure out where everyone falls without going through and calculating it up manually. So we see the live results, and it does come out there in the live results that we're fourth. Then there was a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of an anxious moment because someone pointed out that there was an error on the live results that had one of our runners with 7 points, which basically means they would have finished about seventh. And we didn't have any runners that low. So that kind of makes you nervous from the, from seeing that. So we kind of had to wait around a little bit. We didn't have to wait around though till the actual ceremony because our friend of the program, I'll call him Tim King, track and cross country official. He's actually the state meet director of the state cross country championship. He came over and sort of let us know that we had finished in that fourth place spot, and he was as happy as we were. And like I said, there was already a little bit of celebration after those live results. I had a couple run over to me, and they were pumped, and then you had a little bit of nervousness there. But I mean, obviously to pull out the fourth place finish, it caps off a really good season, and a season that while it was good in many ways, it was challenging in some ways because we had injuries. We had injuries throughout August and September, and I don't know that we ran. I think there was one or two races we ran all five, but until the Meet of Champions, I would be hard to find a race that we had all five guys finish. Even if they started, they didn't finish. So, and then there was a couple other races where we intentionally sat Connor, intentionally sat Bryant, intentionally sat Eli, so we had we had our challenges in the first part of the season, and I still thought we did well. Kind of our goal was to finish in the top third of the meets we went to. Traditionally, if you look at Augusta's team scores, we were in the bottom third. All the years that we had full teams, from those mid 2012 to or 2011 to 2017 when we actually had teams, full teams, we were certainly in the bottom third of those results. So even with injury, we were able to stay in the top third of most of our meets, and then you hit October, and you start off there with the Centerville race, but then you go to Meet of Champions. We were runner up. Buffalo Trace champions, Area 7 runner up, Meet of Champions runner up, of course region champs, and then fourth place at state to bring home that state trophy. So a very rewarding season for sure, and proud of the way that our kids competed on Saturday, because in those conditions, I mean, it would have been easy to go out and say, yeah, I'm going to run, but I'm not going to push through this mud. I'm not going to push through all this, and they did. And I think our mental toughness and our physical toughness helped us on Saturday. May have helped us outperform some other teams. So really pleased with that. You look at the team results, and Northern Kentucky is just strong running. And I know that we're not necessarily at Northern Kentucky in what people consider Northern Kentucky, but obviously we're right south of the Ohio River, so we are Northern Kentucky. But 5 of the top 6 teams from Northern were from Northern Kentucky on Saturday. I already talked about St. Henry, Vilmadonna, Beechwood, first, second, third. We were fourth, and then sixth place was Beechwood. So tough competition coming out of the northern part of the state here on Saturday. Another thing I wanted to mention about Saturday was we had some movement on our all-time best placement list at state. So Cameron has the best time at state at 13th. Cameron also had, before Saturday, the second and the third best times at state. He was 31 and 32. So after Saturday, Cameron still has the best time at 13th, but now Matt Jones is our second best placement at state at 20th. And Grayson Miller comes in at third now on that list at 25th. Bryant comes in at fourth on that list at 27th. And then Cameron has the fifth place spot of 31st. So, good to see some kids up there on the front part of that list for sure. And we hope to continue climbing that list. We owe some thanks to people. Some people that have honored us, recognized us, provided us with meals and things. The city of Augusta put out a congratulatory sign made and had it posted on the city building, and let us take it to the regional meet with us, or the state meet with us. So we appreciate Mayor Taylor and the city of Augusta for that. Crosspoint Community Church, of course, Noah has met with our team a few times throughout the year, giving them words of encouragement. But they also fed us a spaghetti dinner a couple days, the Thursday before state. So we appreciate Crosspoint and the members from that church who came out to help prepare that meal for us. The day before state, on Friday, we ate at the general store. We appreciate Craig and Amy Miller and their family, and Imogene Shepherd for going, in to provide that meal for us at the general store for our pre-race day meal. And then on Monday, just a couple days ago, Mike and Kay Taylor provided us a celebratory meal at the Corner Cafe. So we appreciate Mike and Kay and the Corner for providing that meal to our team. So just really appreciative of the people who have reached out and made made gestures like that. So cross country, while the school season is over, it's not 100% over for all of our kids yet. We have 3 kids who are planning to compete for Team Kentucky. If you're not familiar with that, think about it as AAU. There are sort of, I'll call them those AAU running groups in Kentucky. And really what they do is they give the kids an opportunity to compete in national races. And there are several national races, but there's one that's real close. In fact, right back down in Paris in about 2 weeks. So Matt Jones, Mike Jones, and Bryant Curtis are planning to compete at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship in Paris. So they are still training. They've not gotten to start their rest quite yet. So they're doing most of their running on their own. I always volunteer to coach them a couple days a week. I give them their hard workouts if they want that, and they do the other stuff on their own. So while the school season is over, cross country not totally shut down for me yet, and for a few of our runners. So looking forward to hopefully being able to go on November 20th to Paris and watch our kids run, and try not to coach them on that day, just be a spectator. We do have a couple fundraising items coming up. We have concessions November 8th, but I think I have parents already for that day. We have November 15th as well. It's a middle school boys basketball game. Don't have any parents signed up yet for that, so we're going to be seeking out some volunteers to do concessions on November 15th. And then really our bigger event is on November 20th. The Team Kentucky race, I think, is in the morning. Works out well. In the evening is the middle school semi-formal dance the athletic department is hosting, and we are in charge of. So we will be, of course, needing volunteers to work and set up and take down, and then people to provide food and things like that. So we will be. I'll be reaching out again to parents to to sign up for those things, so we can get that taken care of. We do have some events coming up over the next probably 5 weeks or so, just to make a note of. On November 30th, we are scheduled to be recognized at the boys basketball game against Robertson County. So we want our team to be in attendance that night for those games, and be there to be recognized out on the floor in front of the fans. December 9th, we are scheduled to be recognized at the Board of Education meeting. And then on December 11th, we are registered to participate in the Christmas parade in Augusta at 5:30. So some events coming up where we will be able to, be recognized and showcase our team and showcase their accomplishments. Something, a graphic we put out today, and I know we've got track season coming up, and that becomes the focus, but, we're kind of already looking to next year. Last year we were able to sit down at the end of the season and make our team goals. And, we're not in a really as much of a position to do that. One, because we knew who we had coming back last year. We knew who our team was going to be. And, we lose 3 seniors. And we have no middle schoolers in our cross-country program. We have, outside of our current freshmen, our next cross-country runner currently they're in 4th grade. So they'll only be in 5th grade next year. So we have nobody coming up. So it's really important. We have some obviously key pieces of our team coming back next year, But right now, we don't even have enough for a full team. If it's just on the returning runners, we have 4, and it takes 5 to even score as a team. So we're gonna have to recruit some runners from from within our school and find out. Um, I'm sure we have people that are capable of doing it, but as our parents know and our runners know, cross country is very challenging. It's very challenging mentally and physically. So, to be successful, you've got to have kids have the right mindset for that, or you're not going to be very successful. So, just a note there that we are, obviously need to recruit some kids and listen, the runners on the team are the best option for that. All right, I can ask kids till I'm blue in the face, and most of the time they're not going to respond to me asking them. It's like it's going to be a no thanks. But your kids can help recruit people. And one thing that I would suggest if they're going to run cross country or thinking about running cross country is to run track, because for one, it's going to get them a head start on their training, which is important if they've not ran before. But cross country running is really a year-round sport, and even though you don't practice year-round with your team, running in general is year-round. I mean, if you ask a runner what happens if they take 2 or 3 months off, they're going to lose something, and it's going to take a long time to get that back. And obviously, one of the I think, and I'm just going to point Grayson out. I think Grayson is a prime example of this was Grayson's first track season last year. He wasn't able to run the year before because of COVID. And I'm not saying it was all because of track, but if you look at the progress that Grayson made and the jump that he made from his 8th grade year to his freshman year, I mean, I'm sure there were other things that helped with that improvement. But I strongly believe that him running track and running all spring is a big factor in his improvement. So I think it's important for cross country runners to run track, and I think it would be important that if we have new people that are thinking about joining cross country, they start with track. Start with track and get ahead on their training. So that turns us to our last thing, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this. I'll probably do a separate video here in a week or two about track, but that's where we turn our focus now. As soon as our 3 guys finish with their cross country training in this last race, everyone will have some time off from running, and track and field practice starts December 13th. We're going to do a little bit of indoor track this year. That's new. It's brand new to me. Never done it before. Brand new to our athletes. But they express some interest in doing it, and it's the same sport. The state does not see a difference in indoor track and outdoor track. It's one sport. You can do 20 meets. It doesn't matter if it's indoor, outdoor, or a combination of both. So it's not that we're starting anything new. We're just kind of expanding a little bit what we're already doing. So that'll be December 13th, and that's those that are doing indoor. If we got people that are just doing outdoor track, they don't have to join us until early February. But indoor and outdoor practice will start on December 13th. So just a little over 5 weeks away till we'll get started practicing with another season. So hope you can encourage some people to come out and join us for track and field. Thank everyone for supporting us this season, and we'll see you here in a few weeks. Take care.